Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review of Peacemaker, a show that I consider to be one of the most raved about DC projects since probably The Dark Knight, and rightfully so because this show is incredible, guys. It knocked my socks off. I just got done watching the finale. It knocked my socks off. It's incredible. It's funny. It's got heart. It's got action. It's got everything that I didn't know that this character could bring to the table, and I've just been wowed. I still got goosebumps, guys. I don't you can't see them. You're not gonna be able to see them from this far back, but I got goosebumps from what I just saw. Now, I was going to do a spoiler review for this, but the only reason I'm not is because, after watching the finale, I figured everybody should get to watch this show with as little detail as possible. Well, one, if you haven't seen the Suicide Squad movie, it comes before this, you should definitely go see that because it helps a lot with what happens in the series itself right here. But I just figured, personally didn't know much about Peacemaker before I saw Suicide Squad, and then once the show was announced, the only thing I got from that was the movie. The only thing I got from his character was everything in the movie, which was great. And then we got this, which was, fantastic. So, in my opinion, after watching the entire thing, I figured everybody should get to watch this with a fresh mind, as little detailed as possible. I'm still going to review, give my general thoughts on, how much I love this show. But essentially, I'm not going to do a spoiler review. Everybody should watch this with a fresh mind. Everybody should be able to just enjoy this because it's something incredibly awesome to enjoy. I'm probably going to be using those adjectives: incredible, awesome, probably repeating myself a lot just because it's the way to describe this show. It does everything right, and I can't believe they pulled something like this off. So Peacemaker was created by James Gunn and stars John Cena, and it picks up right after the Suicide Squad movie, where not only is Peacemaker being haunted by the events that happen in the Suicide Squad movie, but he's recruited on another mission by Amanda Waller and has to work with this team in order to stop this thing called Project Butterfly. And while he's doing all that, he's also being haunted by his own personal life and things that happened in his own past. And this character has so much depth to it that I didn't even realize when I first saw Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad movie, and he was introduced to us. The way he came off when he was talking about his motives and why he does what he does, the fact that he wants to bring peace by killing any man, woman, and child, I didn't necessarily get the sense that, maybe this is probably an obvious thing, but in the Suicide Squad movie, I didn't necessarily get the fact that he thought he was a bad guy. I feel like he just thought he was in jail because of something he believes in. Like, people just don't see things the way he does. But he didn't necessarily think he's doing things wrong. Like, the other members of the Suicide Squad, they know they're bad and they embrace that. Like Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, Rick Flag, of course, was the captain of everything, but King Shark, guys like that, they know they're bad guys. I felt like when, we were introduced to Peacemaker, he didn't necessarily think he was bad. He was only somebody that, just, did bad things in order to create, an ultimate goal, which was peace. And that is explored very well in this entire series. They do so much with this character. He has so many layers to him that, honestly, I'm so glad they dug into, because it made my thoughts from the Suicide Squad movie, it made me feel kind of right, because there's a character there. They introduced somebody more than just an entertainment piece or, somebody who stood out in the movie. They introduced an actual character, and they flesh him out so well in this series. Like I said, I can't believe, I watched what I watched. It's an incredible show. Now, guys, if you can't already tell by the way I'm using the same adjectives and my excitement through my body language and just really not being able to put things together, this is a 10 out of 10 series, guys. I loved everything about this show from start to finish. And before I get into my details on what I loved, of course I'm going to start with the theme song. I know, right? Who starts with a theme song? Guys, no, this theme song is the tone setter for this whole thing. Now the show came out releasing the first 3 episodes, so of course, which most series do nowadays, when they're brand new, they release the first 3 episodes and then the rest come out week to week. So the first 3 episodes came out, and you watch this theme song, and the first time I've seen this, I'm completely thrown off by what I'm seeing, but once you get to once you watch it like the third time on that third episode, and once I got to the fourth, you understand everything that this theme song delivers. It's a tone setter, like I said, guys. It's something that, it has all the emotions that you feel, or everything that you see in that theme song when it comes to, the energy, emotion, justice, freedom. You feel all of that in the theme song. You feel everything, and it's a great way to start the show. It really describes even the song they choose. Even the song they choose. Do you want to taste it? Yeah, it shows how raunchy this show is too. It's a lot of vulgar humor in here, man, but it's hilarious. I enjoyed every single second of that theme song, and then honestly, it gets better and better every watch. Now, I gotta admit, once I did rewatch this show a couple times. So after that point, I was just watching hardcore most of the time, because every time she comes on screen, I can't take my eyes off. Shout out to hardcore. She's awesome. So aside from the awesome theme song, this is a show that really exceeds itself in every category possible. When it comes to action, humor, when it comes to a heartfelt story, this show, it exceeds expectation. It does everything right. Starting with the action pieces. Look, they have so many great action scenes, so many sets, and so many great characters too. The fight scenes are very choreographed pretty well, I must say. Even the, fight scenes between Peacemaker and Judo Master. The Judo Master fight scenes in general are very good, are very fun to watch. And then of course there's a fight scene in the finale that just, knocks it does everything right. Like I said, guys, this finale was everything. It's the whole reason why, I had to switch up my review. I had to just, tell you little details as possible, because this should be something you experience for yourself. Like, you should be able to formulate your own opinion. You don't have to hear about and just not know what you're about to see, what you're going to witness, because you're going to be amazed. I hope you're amazed, honestly, because like I said, I'm definitely going to be rewatching this show as many times as possible, and I'm honestly very excited that they announced season 2, and I can't wait. As far as the comedy goes, look, to describe this show as humorous would be, setting a low bar of expectations. This show is hilarious. It's honestly one of the most funniest shows I've seen in pretty much a long time, man. I can't remember the last time I enjoyed myself this much watching a show with so many different dynamics of characters interacting with each other. I mean, look, every character gets their moment to shine in this show, but the interactions that each character has with one another, especially the different ones, like essentially the cop and Peacemaker's dad, the banter between those two is hilarious, and it makes a lot of entertaining scenes and a lot of entertaining dialogue between the two. But the relationships such as like Peacemaker and Vigilante, and the relationship that Peacemaker starts to have with the entire group themselves, with Diebeard, Hardcore, Mern, and Adebayo, it's something that I really did not see myself getting so attached to. Like I said, this show can definitely get to you. It definitely pulls at your heartstrings a little bit, because you can relate, essentially, maybe not to all the craziness and the whole backstory of Peacemaker, but you can definitely relate to what he's trying to do, where he's coming from. And honestly, that's another thing that this show does too. It gives every character a backstory. It gives every character a layer to themselves, to make themselves not just a piece, or a piece in its entire story. They give every character a reason to be here, and they give every character a reason to shine in this show. I mean, look, even the Project Butterfly thing, that I'm not going to go into detail about, what essentially they do, and how they go about themselves, but he gives the villains themselves in the show layers. Like I said, Peacemaker's dad, he's an awful guy. He's not one of the best people to root for, but essentially in this show, I wasn't necessarily rooting for him, but he was definitely one of my favorite characters, just because of what he brought to the show, and how he affected Peacemaker in the ways he did. I mean, guys, as I said, I can't talk about it enough. This show knocked my socks off. Like, I'm speechless. My jaw was literally on the floor by the end of the finale. Like, it tied together the last, it wasn't necessarily 8 weeks, 8 episodes, it tied the last 7 episodes together so well, and it just ended in a way that makes you really excited for season 2, and it makes you want to watch everything again just so you can catch what you missed. Because I mean, essentially, this is crazy because in some episodes, I was laughing so much I'd either miss a joke or I miss some plot points. Man, I'm telling you, there's so much to get out of this show, and there's so much to enjoy. It's so much fun. It's I can't stress it enough, guys. This show is awesome. I think this show honestly competes with some of the higher tier Marvel projects. Like this is one of the best superhero origin stories. This is something that I consider to compare to Spider-Man 2, which is not only a superhero movie for me, but it's a movie that flushes out the character that's beyond the suit. Like it's beyond just Spider-Man. They show Peter Parker, and Peacemaker is more than just this guy that puts on the helmet and wants to create peace. He's a human being. He has feelings. He made a vow. He has values to himself, and just like all of us, he has stuff that motivates him. And they give each character values to where they start to question whether or not what they're doing is right, and it just fleshes out a more complex story than honestly what I thought was going to be here. I was watching the trailer for Peacemaker. I wasn't necessarily sure if we were going to get I got the whole alien invasion vibe, but it's like you take a plot as basic as that one and you turn it into what we got with Peacemaker. James Gunn completely outdid himself, guys. This is one of the best shows. 2022 honestly just started, but I'm not sure how much. I'm pretty sure by the time we get to the end of the year, Peacemaker is going to be in my top 10 for the year. I'm definitely going to do a top 10 shows of the year, and Peacemaker is probably not moving out of that spot. Right now, he's solid in the #1 spot. I need all of you guys to go watch this show. I'm just going to, continue to rave about it and tell you guys this is one of the best shows of 2022. I'm going to stamp that right now. Like it's cemented. You guys need to go check it out. This is amazing. John Cena outdoes himself. I'm so glad that he's found his niche, because he's honestly done a great job in a lot of movies in the past. And, I think this is something that's really going to stick, and he's going to be probably one of the most iconic superheroes that we see for a very long time in the DC universe. Hopefully they keep it up. James Gunn, you've outdone yourself, sir. Honestly, they should just give the entire DC extended universe to James Gunn, because that seems like the only hope we're getting out of this. Like the Batman's coming out, but he's not a part of. Apparently it's been announced that he's not even a part of the Justice League. So I don't know what they're doing with that, but they really should give James Gunn this DC universe, because he's taken a character that not only people really didn't know about, and he's turned him into something incredible, but he's honestly just reimagining what superheroes shows are. Like he's making them more than just putting on a costume, going out and fighting crime, or essentially doing whatever their motives are. Like James Gunn has really turned this entire thing into an actual story that you care about, a story with heartfelt characters, a story with emotion, a story with all the comedy in the world. Like I said, from episodes 1 through 8, you are going to be laughing your socks off. I mean, it's crazy. Even the most basic kid jokes, even the most basic fart jokes that you get in this show make you laugh. Like you really embrace everything that these characters bring to the table, and it's something that I really had fun watching, guys. I can't remember a superhero show that really knocked my socks off like this since probably Daredevil season 3. Like I'm telling you guys, this Peacemaker is everything and more. I loved it so much, and I really think you guys should check it out. Alright guys, so that's my review of Peacemaker Season 1. Look, if you watched it, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't seen it, be sure to go watch The Suicide Squad first, because that's an amazing movie, and then you need to go watch this, because it's an even better follow-up to what was an amazing movie. And look guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much guys. More content coming your way soon. This is your guy in the chair. Thank you so much.